All right, thanks for watching. Today what we're looking at is basically a part introduction to a concept called comparative advantage, which looks at gains from trade and why countries trade. We'll be covering this early next week. It'll be the week starting the 12th. On Wednesday, if you're in period 1, on Thursday, if you're in period 7, your entry quiz. You're going to come in and you're going to see this almost exact same problem. I may change a couple of words, I may change a couple of numbers, but essentially I'm going to give you this. You watch this as many times as you'd like before then, and you will do very, very well on it. All right, so what we're looking at in the city of Boston, in the city of Chicago, we're putting up some imaginary numbers, how many Red Sox and how many White Sox can be produced per hour. So Boston, just so we know the table, puts all their resources into Red Sox that can produce 3 in an hour, put all of their resources into White Sox that can produce 3 per hour. For Chicago, they put all their resources into Red Sox, can produce 2 in an hour. All of their resources into White Sox can produce 1 an hour. What does that mean? It means that the price of White Sox in Boston, if you're going to make 1 White Sox, it means I'm giving up 1 Red Sox. The opportunity cost is your price. So the price of Red Sox or White Sox in Boston is 1 Red Sox. Right? By the same token, what's the price of White Sox in Chicago? So in Chicago, I can make 1 White Sox, or I can make actually 2 overall Red Sox. So the price of White Sox in Chicago is 2 Red Sox. Right, looking forward, we say which city has an absolute advantage in the production of each color sock. An absolute advantage means given a set of resources, no matter what, another country or another city or another individual can produce more. In both cases, Boston can produce more. So Boston has an absolute advantage in the production of either color sock. For comparative advantage, though, that's different. You're comparing your opportunity costs. In just about every scenario, even when countries have absolute advantages over other countries in terms of what they can produce, comparatively, other countries have advantages. So when we look at this, which city then has a comparative advantage in the production of each sock? Well, if we look at White Sox or Red Sox. So you go to here, for White Sox, it costs for 1 White Sox, it equals 1 Red Sox. But for 1 White Sox, it equals 2 Red Sox. By the same token, 1 Red Sox equals 1 White Sox. But 1 Red Sox here, we're only giving up half of a White Sox. Okay? So when we look at who has the comparative advantage, for White Sox, okay, it costs Boston 1 Red Sox to produce it. It costs Chicago 2 Red Sox to produce it. That means Boston has the comparative advantage in the production of White Sox. In the production of Red Sox, it cost us 1 White Sox to produce a Red Sox, but it only costs us half a White Sox in Chicago. All right, so Chicago has a comparative advantage in the production of Red Sox. If there is trade, which sock will each country export? In other words, if they decide to trade, what will they sort of specialize in? And we'll see eventually that when you specialize, oftentimes you can get more, consume more, and that's how you consume past your production possibility frontier. So based on this, that means Boston will export White Sox, and Chicago will export Red Sox. Because comparatively, they're cheaper to produce in each of those given places. All right, so what are the range of prices at which trade will occur? Okay, well, if Boston is going to produce White Sox, for every White Sox they produce, they must receive at least 1 Red Sox for every White Sox they trade. Okay? Otherwise, they produce it themselves. So that if they decided they were going to trade White Sox, they wouldn't do anything for less than 1 Red Sox, preferably a little bit more. By the same token, Chicago, okay, they're going to basically be selling, okay, or trading Red Sox. Chicago must receive at least half of a White Sox in order to trade. So must receive half of a White Sox for every Red Sox produced. Okay? Otherwise, they produce it themselves. And what's called the terms of trade will be found in here somewhere. And if you had actual prices, you could do that sort of thing. But what you need to know is that under no circumstances would Boston trade for less than 1 Red Sox, because they could do that themselves. That's what the opportunity cost over there is. Okay, this problem is what we're going to start Wednesday, Thursday class with. Again, I hope you get 100%. Thank you for watching.